Just 24 hours ago, Donald Trump became the first former president in history to be convicted of a crime. And today, as he faces sentencing for 34 felony counts, many are asking, what's next? For one Republican leader, he tells TV5's Lenita Brooks, it only means the former president's supporters are that much more fired up to ensure he's reelected this November. Lenita.
Yeah, that's right, Meg. In an unprecedented ruling, the jury found former President Donald Trump guilty for illegally falsifying business records before the 2016 election. It's a matter State Senate Republican leader Eric Nesbitt says should have been left at the polls.
The case should have never went to court to begin with. I think most people in America believe that.
State Senate Republican leader Eric Nesbitt speaking on former President Donald Trump's guilty verdict in his hush money trial. That decision making him the first former president in U.S. history to be convicted of a crime.
You're going to see Republicans fired up against this unjust lawfare that's happened against President Trump. And you're going to see, I think, a lot more activity and action here at the state level to fight against what is a lot of Michiganders deem as a witch hunt against President Trump.
Trump, who was found guilty of 34 felonies, spoke to media after the verdict came down, calling it a disgrace and rigged, adding that he is a very innocent man who is fighting for our country. Congressman Dan Kildee said in a statement to TV5 in part, quote, "In America, no one is above the law, no matter your power, prestige, or position. The verdict today shows that the former president is no exception," adding the former president received due process and a fair trial. The jury has rendered its verdict, and all Americans should respect the verdict and the rule of law. Nesbitt says he believes Trump will win an appeal and be exonerated on all charges. The rest, he says, will play out at the polls where America will decide.
Let's fight it out of the ballot box. Let's have fair, just, and secure elections instead of doing it in the courtroom.
And Trump's sentencing date is set for July 11th, just 4 days before the start of the Republican National Convention, where Trump will be formally nominated as the party's standard bearer. In studio, Lenita Brooks. Meg.
Thank you, Lenita. And Trump could face up to 4 years in prison for each count. Meanwhile, Michigan Congressman Dan Kildee, a Democrat, said in part the former president received due process and a fair trial. The former president's criminal actions will remain a stain on our nation's history. Donald Trump cannot be trusted to lead this nation into the future.